Ugh. Were you around when Mighty Mouse would come and save the day? Mighty Mouse, one of the greatest superheroes of our time. Him and Underdog. Yes. Mighty Mouse would come though. He was created in the 1940s. He had his own cartoon in the 1950s that ran through the 1960s to 1968, 1969. And that's why I knew him, because I watched him every Saturday morning. And he was a cool little hero, one of the best. And he had this girlfriend, Pearl Pureheart, and she would get in trouble by this nasty villain, Oil Can Harry, large vicious cat with a mustache and a top hat. And one time, an episode that I recall, Oil Can Harry had somehow knocked Mighty Mouse out and strapped him to a train tracks with the 515 train. Was on the way, and he had a bomb strapped to his head. And the narrator would say, "Will our little hero be doomed forever? Will he escape the bonds that will lead him to his death? Tune in next week," that kind of thing. And meanwhile, Oil Can Harry would take Pearl Pureheart and tie her up in his little home, and he'd try to woo her with his love and songs, and she didn't want anything of it. And so you tune in the next week, because it was a cliffhanger. You tune in, and in our last episode, Mighty Mouse was trapped. So then he wakes up and he blows out the bomb fuse, busts his bonds, stops the train, and then flies to Pearl's rescue. And I'm flying to Pearl's rescue. There's this massive fight of guns and knives and swords and punches, and Pearl slips out the window and jumps onto a log that's rolling down the river, and now she's going toward the buzzsaw. Oh no! Tune in next week. But every time Mighty Mouse would come in for the rescue, he would go, "Here I come to save the day." And he would sing as he came to the rescue. Now, the Bible talks about our singing God who comes to the rescue. The Psalms talk about it all the time, that God is our rescuer, and he comes and he sings over us, and he loves us, and he comes to our rescue. In Psalm 37, in verses 5 to 7, it says, "Commit your way to the Lord, trust in him, and he will act. He will act. He will bring forth your righteousness as the light, and your justice as the noonday." Some of us just want to see that justice done. He will bring it forth. He will act. But it says, "Be still before the Lord." So hard sometimes. "And wait patiently for him." So hard sometimes, because he's the 11th hour, 59th minute God sometimes. But he will act. He is faithful. He will come. So it says, "Fret not yourself." There it is again. "Fret not yourself over the one who is prospers in his way, and is the man who carries out his evil devices." Like, fret not over the villains of this life. God will save the day, like Mighty Mouse. "Here I come to save the day." Fretting is a state of vexation, just angst, fretting over the wicked. And the psalm says, don't do that. Don't fret, because God knows it hurts you when you fret, when you worry. Don't fret. It's harmful. God doesn't want us to harm ourselves. Oswald Chambers asked the question, like, well, how do we do this? And he says it's all based on the promises of God. Our capacity in spiritual matters is dependent upon the promises, measured by the promises of God. What does he mean? Well, is God able to fulfill his promises? Yes, he's faithful. He's able. In fact, his promises are many. He's promised himself to us. Jesus said, "I will be with you even to the very end." He's promised his provision. "My God shall supply all your needs according to his riches and glory." Everything. He's provided his provision. He's provided his peace. He's provided his joy. The joy of the Lord, which is your strength. You know what he's provided? He's provided trouble. He's promised it. It's a promise of God. In this world you will have trouble. But be of good cheer, because I've overcome the world, he says. Be of good cheer. Don't worry. Don't fret. We read the end of the book, we win. We're on his side. He wins. He's the overcomer. The great Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. He's got it all in hand. We can trust him. And he's promised us eternal life. Life itself is found in him. He who who has the Son has life. He who doesn't have the Son does not have life. But you got the Son, you've got life. And he says, Jesus said, I come to give you abundant life. The thief only comes to steal, kill, and destroy, but I come to give you life. In fact, he says, if you believe in me, though you're dead, yet shall you live, and he who believes in me shall never die. Never die. This will be the closest we ever come to hell, death, the grave. It's just life forevermore. We just got to wait for him patiently. David says, be still and wait for him. Oh, we love that word. Patiently for him. Let's just hurry up and wait. But he knows what's best. And he knows the timing. And so we're to trust him and not fret. Do good and commit ourselves to him. He will see to it. Wait patiently for him. Because here he comes to save the day.